Hello reviewers, this video is just demonstrating that we have our parts in and that they work. So starting first off, these are the custom made parts. This is the base of the printer that was fabricated using laser cutting. And then we've got a gear mount, which is going to be mounted up here by custom printed standoffs. These are 3D printed, and they'll mount 4 of them here to mount like so. That's gonna be the same kind of standoff is gonna be used to mount the stepper motors, which I didn't grab one here, so I'll try and get a picture of that. And then we have smaller standoffs, roughly this size, I believe they're 10 millimeters, which are gonna mount the linear guide rails shown here. So that's as far as it goes for the custom parts. One more. So this is gonna mount the different stages of the guide rail and the gantry to each other. So one will be here and then one will go across. We have all the parts in. I'm just showing that we have just one of each here because I don't want to lay it out all on the bed. So as for other parts that we had to either order or had that are not custom made, we've got our pinions, which will control the timing belts shown here. And then we've got our ball bearings, which I mentioned in the report. All of the fittings for these have been tested, so they do fit very nicely in here. Well, that's not, there we go, just almost perfect fit. And then we have more pinions as well. Different fasteners for assembling the entire thing. So yeah, we have our parts in. I'm gonna pass it off to electronics. And this is just showing that we have our stepper motors. So yeah, we've got plenty of them.
Hello, this is Team 30PP, and we are creating a 3D portable printer. We are also Team 8. And I'm going to go into a little detail on some parts that we currently have, some software functions we have implemented, and why we chose certain parts. First off, this is an Big Tree Tech SQR Pico. We decided to go with this printer, 3D printer control board, because of its small stature. This is much smaller than your average 3D printer controller, meaning that we can have more space for things like the battery and our PCB design. Along with this, the SQR Pico does come with all the pin outputs that we will need, inputs and outputs, such as the 4 XYZ and extruder stepper motor outputs, as well as a fan output. Now, we also picked the SQR Pico because, as we talk about in our 120-page document, it's totally compatible with the Raspberry Pi. You actually need a Raspberry Pi for the Big Tree Tech SQR Pico to function properly. The Raspberry Pi does all the complex G-code translations for the SQR Pico. Along with this, we have a TFT touchscreen display. We'll be using this to show our users the voltage of the battery that we will ultimately have. Along with this, we have a 24-volt power supply. This is just for testing purposes. Eventually, we will have a battery to be powering our 3D printer. Now, this is where all the software and everything is implemented. This is the Raspberry Pi connected with the Wi-Fi dongle. Sorry about the bright light here. It's connected to my router. That's why that white blue light is blinking. But anyway, we have the Raspberry Pi here, and what's important about this is it runs this web application called Mainsail, and this is where we'll be able to control the 3D printer from. This will also be another way the user will be able to see the voltage level. Along with this, this is where we'll be doing the majority of the programming for the 3D printer for setting it up. What I mean by this is setting up how the stepper motors will move, where the temperature sensors should be, and things of that nature. One last thing, for the Raspberry Pi, we are running an application on it that when it does not detect, like I'm at home right now, so it detects my local router. When it does not detect my local router, it will become a hotspot called 30pp. The users will be able to connect to it, and they will still be able to access this local domain, 30pp.local, while they're connected to the Raspberry Pi. This, again, will allow them to control the printer, detect voltages, and things of that nature.